oddities, and welcome to a new design ranking video. This time we're going to be ranking the designs of Jade, the final female ninja I believe we have to cover, besides for Scarlet and Tanya. But those two characters don't have enough outfits to actually make a full ranking out of them, so this is the final one. Now for anyone who hasn't seen the previous videos, let's reiterate the rules. First rule is that I'll only be taking designs from Mortal Kombat games, which means no comics, movies, or cartoons, and no other games that Jade may have appeared in. Second rule is that I will not be taking any repeated or reused designs, which means no recreated classic costumes from the later games and nothing from Mortal Kombat Armageddon, because that game only has reused outfits from the previous 3D era ones. The third rule applies to Mortal Kombat 11 only, and it's that I'll only be taking designs from the story mode, because Mortal Kombat 11 has a lot of designs that just aren't worth talking about. And the fourth and final rule is that there's going to be no Mortal Kombat Mobile. Why? Because I don't want to talk about whitewashed Jade, okay? Now without further ado, Jade has 10 outfits, so let's get straight into it. At number 10, in last place, I have her Mortal Kombat 11 Kronika Revenant design, which she takes on at the end of the game when she teams up with Kitana and Kung Lao to try and defeat Liu Kang, but it doesn't go so well for her. Now obviously I do not like Kronika, so it's pretty obvious why this design is very, very low down. In fact, last place on this list. Also plus the fact that it's just the Revenant outfit, but recolored, which is kind of lame. And I don't really like the colors on this outfit anyway. The white and the bright blue and the golden stuff doesn't really fit Jade that much to me. So last place. At number 9, I have a design that I can only describe as a poor man's version of the Deception design, because this is the Mortal Kombat 9 alternate, which is trying to be like the Deception one, but just doesn't work. It just falls completely flat. Now part of this is because Mortal Kombat 9's body proportions are completely whack, so certain outfits that might have looked good on other designs don't look good on the Mortal Kombat 9 characters, and that has a bunch of examples throughout this entire game, and this is definitely one of them. But not only that, it also takes the more royal, clothy design that worked very well in Deception and made it into more of a bikini type of design, which just doesn't fit Jade's character in my opinion. Yes, she's not super royal like someone like Kitana or Sindel, but she does have that kind of Edenian flair to her, and also she's a pretty cool assassin, so her running around in a bikini just doesn't really make sense to me. Also, I much prefer the hair on the original Deception design, and I think the hair on this one is okay, but like, it is a downgrade, plus the fact that she doesn't have a mask, even though that is how the Deception one was. And this one, I just don't think it works as well because MK9 Jade is just ugly. At number 8, I have a design from a game that usually doesn't get costumes ranked this low, but it's just an exception here. We have Shaolin Monk's Jade. Now, I don't like this design because I don't think it's very original. I don't think it really fits the character of Jade that much. None of her classic, iconic parts of her designs are really included in this design, and I honestly feel if you recolored it to blue, then it would be a pretty cool Kitana design. Just not anything too crazy or special, just like pretty okay design for Kitana. In fact, the Kitana design that is in this game is pretty similar to this one, and especially if you look at them side by side, it just makes this design look kind of boring, because if you look at other Jade designs and how that one contrasts to the Kitana designs that are in those games, then it's just like a lot better of a contrast compared to this game where they look mostly the same, especially since Melina is also in a lot of these screenshots or whatever, and Melina looks completely different from the other two, and so you kind of want Jade to also look completely different, and you know, you want them all to be unique feeling from each other, but Jade is just not, and so yeah, I don't know. I don't really like this design, but Shaolin Monks is still goated. At number 7, I have one that's sure to rustle some feathers, but listen, I'm not a fan of these designs in this game, alright? At number 7, I have the Mortal Kombat 9 default design. I know everyone loves this one. Everyone really likes this one for whatever reason. I don't really know why. I don't really see the appeal of it. It just looks like the other two, the Katana and the Melina ones. It just looks like those, especially the Melina one. That one is the one that shares the most similarity with. But I just don't see a character like Jade really wearing something like this. And I've never just been a big fan of these kinds of designs. I've stated why many times. I just don't think proportionally in MK9 it really fits their body types. I think just the way it's distributed throughout their body, the certain elements of their character designs, it just doesn't come together, in my opinion. And it feels a little bit empty. And so I've just never really been a fan of these Mortal Kombat 9 designs. I'm sorry. The female designs in Mortal Kombat 9 aren't great in my opinion, but, you know, male designs are hit or miss. But the female designs in particular are almost all bad. Like, is there a single female design that isn't bad? I don't know. I can't think of any right now. But I'm still trying to. And I can't think of any. But I'll get back to it at some point in this video. At number 6, I have her Mortal Kombat 11 Revenant design. Now, I usually don't really like Revenants that much, but I do have to admit when a design is very cool, and this is one of those times where I do have to admit that, because this design is pretty awesome. I remember seeing this one when she was revealed, and it was just like, wow, that is sick. That is awesome. Yeah. Obviously, that was during the MK11 hype days, and, you know, we're not super critical during the hype days of a Mortal Kombat game. It's usually when the game comes out that the fan base becomes the fan base. But yeah, I still like this design, even though I don't really like the Revenants, and that's probably why it's not higher on this list. The human version of this design wouldn't be higher, just because the design itself kind of just fits a Revenant design more. It doesn't really fit a normal Jade outfit. Before a Revenant design, this is very good. I think it strikes a perfect balance between being like evil looking, so it doesn't just look like the regular Jade, but also not too evil looking to the point where it just looks like a completely separate character. That's when the Revenant designs are at their best, and I think this one is one of the better ones. Like top 5, top 3, around there. I think along with the Jax one, that's one I can think of. I think I like the Sub-Zero one as well. There are a few Revenant designs that I genuinely like, but most of them are pretty low to the bottom of these lists. I'm sure you can understand why. Revenants, I'm just not a big fan of them in the story of Mortal Kombat, and that kind of just bleeds over into the actual designs. But when they're really cool like this one, then I have to admit it. Cracking the top 5, at number 5, we have the Mortal Kombat 2 design. Yes, the one that started it all, when Jade was merely just a secret character. Now, there is something with this design that is a bit iffy, that people don't really talk about that much. I don't know if it's because people don't want to talk about it or because they just don't realize, but I do think it's kind of weird that they took an actress that wasn't black and then like digitally altered her skin color to become black. I'm not saying it's like super racist or anything. I just think it's like, oh, that's weird. Huh. No one really talks about that. That's all I want to say and acknowledge. It's not going to like dock any points or anything. I just wanted to say that because, I don't know, no one really says anything about it, and I think that's kind of weird. But yeah, this design is pretty good. I mean, it's a classic design. It's a design that, of course, is just Katana design, but recolored. But that was the charm of the original games, and I think for a female ninja design, it is pretty good. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say about it. It's just pretty good design. Obviously, it's not super crazy or interesting or in-depth or anything detailed, but it's a pretty decent design that gets the job done and looks pretty cool in my opinion. And they brought it back in almost every single game that Jade has appeared in since then, so that's pretty cool as well. And it looks great in those games. At number 4, I have a design that might be controversial, just like the Mortal Kombat 9 one, but not because it's too low, but because it's too high. And that is the Mortal Kombat 11 Past design, or the version that comes from the past, comes to the future, Yeah, I see a lot of people really not liking this one, and I understand why, because it does have some of the aspects of the Mortal Kombat 11 aesthetic that people in general just aren't a huge fan of. But the main thing I always hear people talking about is the fact that it's too brown and there's not enough green, which I can somewhat agree with. I think there's another design that's a recolor of this in Mortal Kombat 11 that is completely green, and I would have liked that one better, and I do like that one better, but for what you have, I think it's still a pretty cool design, and I think it's a design that shows off more of the assassin vibes from Jade. There's a bunch of different sides to a lot of the Mortal Kombat characters, and I think it's kind of neat when these different designs can capture those different aspects of the character, but it's also very, very nice when you get just a single design that's able to capture all of those aspects. Sometimes characters don't really get the opportunity, and I feel like Jade is one of those characters that hasn't had a design yet that just completely captures everything. But I think this one, if you want a more assassin vibe Jade, more of what she actually is, instead of more of the like royal like type of Jade that we usually get, then this one's a good design for you, all you assassin Jade lover who love the assassin killing, yada yada yada, cool person, tough lady. Yeah, for all you people that like that version of Jade, I think that's a pretty good design. But I don't know. I don't speak for other people, I guess. I don't know. I like this one. At number 3, I have Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 with Jade from Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Of course, this is just the katana design, but recolored and reskinned. And yeah, I like this one a little better. I think this one definitely captures more of what female ninjas would later become. But, you know, like with the Mortal Kombat 2 one, it's not like the most detailed or in-depth thing in the world, but it is a step closer to what we actually really enjoy about the female ninjas designs. So I think this one is pretty cool. Not really much to say about it because I've talked about this design twice now, I believe, with the Katana and Mileena design rankings. And as you know, when I constantly have to talk about the same design, it's kind of hard to say new things about it because usually I capture it like the first or second time I talk about it. But yeah, I can't think of new things to say. This one is cool because it's green, and green is my favorite color. So that's a new thing that I just said. Let's go. At number 2, I have a design that's pretty much interchangeable with number 1. At number 2, though, the one that I guess I'm just feeling right now I'm liking a little less is her Deception default design. This one is basically the Mortal Kombat 9 one, but done better. Just better. Firstly, I think it just fits the body proportions a whole lot better. I feel like they didn't go overboard with trying to make it revealing just like how they did in Mortal Kombat 9. I feel like just the 3D era designs in general did a lot better of a job of making it feel natural instead of it being like forced like it is in Mortal Kombat 9. And that's not saying that I don't like revealing outfits. It's just I don't really care that much. And I only really mind when it feels forced, and in Mortal Kombat 9, it feels forced. In these games, for the most part, it doesn't feel forced, so that's why I like it better. But it also captures the more royal and clothy design that I was talking about with the Mortal Kombat 9 one, and why I don't like that design, and why I do like this one. I just think it's a lot better. I like the headband as well. That's pretty cool. I like the hair a whole lot better. I like when Jade has more curly hair. Like, I'm not just saying that because, like, I have curly hair, and, like, you know, black people in general usually have curly hair, so it would be nice if, like, not only one of the only black characters in Mortal Kombat, one of the only black female characters in Mortal Kombat, it's only, like, 2 or 3, I think. It would be nice if they had curly hair. I think Jackie does in both MKX and Mortal Kombat 11, but, Jade usually doesn't. Jade usually has straight hair, and I personally just like it better when it's a little bit more curly, and I think that kind of is captured here with this design a whole lot better than other designs where it just looks completely straight. I also do like how they implement the actual, like, Jade, like, not Jade the character, but, like, Jades. Like, I don't know if it's a mineral or, like, a rock or whatever. I'm sorry, I don't know much about geology and stuff like that, but, like, the actual material, rock, whatever you want to call it, gem, I like how they actually implemented it into this design. There's like little gems on her like bands on her arms. Also the legs or the boots or whatever you want to call them that she's wearing also kind of has like a more jade material to it rather than just it being like cloth or something like it usually is. And I think that's really cool. I think they should do that more. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of Mortal Kombat characters with names that are also minerals or rocks or gems or crystals or anything like that. So it probably can't happen that often. But, you know, we got Tremor at least. He's cool. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about her default design in Deception. But we're not done with Deception because at number 1, I have her alternate design. This one is a design from the famous video that is reposted like every other month on Twitter, on Instagram, on all social medias. Everyone loves this video. I'm pretty sure it's gone even outside the realm of just the Mortal Kombat fan base with how popular this video is. But I'll play a clip of it.
Write this down. I'm 36, 24, 36, and I'm a Scorpio.
So yeah, that video. And it's a video everyone loves for their own separate reasons. But I really like this design. It takes the elements from the classic designs. It also takes the elements from the newer designs that were introduced in this game. And I think it just meshes them very well with the hair and with the classic looking body suit, actual costume, and just the little details, the little elements from the newer stuff, and just placing that onto a more classic looking designs. And I think that this design does that very well and makes it look very good. Obviously, I would wish there were more assassin elements to it, which Jade doesn't really get a lot. As I was saying with her Mortal Kombat 11 design, that's really the only design that has even kind of dipped into her more assassin side. So if this was the perfect design, then it would have those elements, but it doesn't. Not really anyways. And so that's kind of disappointing. Jade doesn't really have that singular definitive design, but the closest thing to it in my opinion is this one, and I really like it. And obviously some people are going to have nostalgia or, you know, bias towards this design because of that video, and you know, I kind of understand it, but I actually genuinely like this design just for the way it looks, just because I think it fits Jade most out of any design she's had so far. And so yeah, hopefully in future games we get better designs for Jade. Hopefully she's in Mortal Kombat 1 in some capacity, and hopefully we get a cool design for her in that. But if not, then it is what it is, and we'll have to look forward to her appearing in Mortal Kombat 2? Mortal Kombat 13? I don't know what it would be called. But hopefully she's in that. If she's not in Mortal Kombat 1, then she's probably going to be in whatever the next game is. Characters like her don't usually skip 2 games in a row. But if that does happen, I feel really bad for all the Jade fans. I know quite a lot of them, and yeah, that would be tragic. But yeah, that's it for the highly anticipated Jade design ranking video. Obviously, Jade only has 10 designs, so this one isn't as long as it usually is, but it is what it is. Next time, I'm thinking we're going to do Shang Tsung, and then after that, probably Baraka, because those 2 characters are classic Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 characters that we still need to cover. After that, I don't know, maybe a character like Kenshi or something. Probably some more Mortal Kombat 1 characters that, because of the new game, have just carried over the limit of 10 designs, which is, if you don't know, the limit that I have for character design rankings. It has to be 10. They have to have at least 10 costumes for me to rank them. If they don't have 10 costumes, then I'm not going to do that. So, you know, characters like Taven or Dagon, they only have 1 costume. That wouldn't even work at all. Okay? Actually, Taven has 2. Taven has like his super armored design, and he has his like normal design. And I don't think Dagon has a second design. Maybe he does. I don't know. But I'm not going to do a design ranking video with 2 designs, alright? So, yeah. I don't know which characters are next exactly, but I know the next 2, and that's going to be Shang Tsung, Baraka, After that, probably someone like Kenshi. That's what I'm thinking the plan is. But yeah, make sure to give this video a like. Go to the description, check out some of the links there, including my Instagram, my Twitter, my Mortal Kombat Retold podcast, which you definitely check out. It's a retelling of all the events, Mortal Kombat, in one podcast, narrative podcast with voice acting and all that. Super cool. We just had our second episode fully released. There was like 2 parts to it. We just had part 2 release not too long ago. I don't know when this video is going to release exactly, but not too long ago, we were able to release that second part of the video. And also make sure to check out my merch store. I got some really cool designs there. And also make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell if you haven't already. And with that being said, that's it for this video, my fellow oddities. I'll see you next time.